the Lewis Global Studies Center YouTube channel. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this presentation of the Smith in Hamburg program. My name is Lisa Johnson, and I'm the Associate Dean for International Study. I'm joined here today by Rebecca Hovey, who is our Dean for Global Studies here in the Global Studies Center, in the Lewis Global Studies Center. We're the ones in the Global Studies Center who will help you with your applications to your the Smith and Hamburg program, if you're interested, and we can help you with that process, tell you about the deadlines, and so on and so forth. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions. And without further ado, I'm going to turn over this presentation to my esteemed colleagues in the German Studies Department and have them introduce themselves. Judith, would you like to start?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Well, some of you here from the students had me for 1.5 hours already today. So here I am again. Hello. And to the others also, hello. So my name is Judith Keiler. I am senior lecturer in the German department, and I teach many of the language courses, as does my colleague Sandra D. Gruber. Sandra. Sandra, so Sandra doesn't want to introduce herself. So Joel, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, Sandra, just say a few words about yourself.
Hi, sorry. Yeah, so as you heard, my name is Sandra D. Gruber, and I mainly teach, I teach all different types of courses this semester. I'm teaching elementary German and a 300 level course on the topic of home or Heimat, which also includes 2 classes with Jutta in Hamburg and via Zoom.
So Joel?
Yeah, and I'm Joel Westerdale, Associate Professor of German Studies here at Smith. I teach courses in German language, intellectual history, literature, and film. This semester, I'm teaching a course in English on Weimar cinema. I'll teach a course on Nazi media in the spring, and I'm co-teaching a course in the spring with Craig Davis from the English department called Imagining Evil. But one of the new things that I've been doing with the help of my colleagues in the German department and the Italian department and a number of other departments is a 2-credit lecture course that we're offering as an experiment this semester, what in German you would call a Ringvorlesung, a lecture series called Thinking Transnationally. And we're really just exploring, what it means to research and learn about different cultures across Europe and how they intersect. And back to you.
Okay. I would also like to introduce Professor Margaret Zelyard, who is with us today. Professor Zelyard was a chair some years ago, and she is retired now. But she was a very, very active member in our exchange with Hamburg. And so she knows the program, I think, like nobody else. And Margaret, can you say some words? I know you said you wouldn't, but now you can.
Well, I just have to say that Hamburg is very, very dear to my heart. And when I noticed that this was happening today, I wrote and asked if I could participate. And I promised not to say anything, but I just want to see how things are there, and that's why I'm here.
Okay. So the German department is basically here to tell you that we are also your partner to ask if you have special questions about your studies in Hamburg and how this would connect to your German classes here. One very important person is not here at the moment, and this is our colleague in Hamburg. So Jutta Goodside is our director. She leads the program in Hamburg, and she is currently stuck on a bus on her way to Florence, where she wanted to join a conference. She was supposed to speak here too, and it would have been a great opportunity to meet her, but unfortunately we have to do without her. So what I would like to do now, if my Zoom abilities will still allow it, I will give you a very, very short visual introduction to Hamburg and the program. And after that, I would like to invite questions from you, and you might start thinking about it. I was thinking that you might have a lot of questions about very specific areas, and which I would call, for instance, where would you live and how do you get around in Hamburg? Where will you eat? How will you eat? And how will you pay for that? What are the courses at the Smith Center? And what courses are available at the Hamburg University for you? Then when you are not doing courses, coursework and homework, what else can you do? What are the possibilities to spend all the time you will have outside of class time? So, and how are travel opportunities? Where are the best clubs and stuff like that? We don't really know, because this time, and this is the first time in a long time, is we do not have former program participants with us. Usually we bring older students in who had been in Hamburg and who could share their firsthand experiences. But unfortunately, last year we didn't have anybody at the program, so we don't have any ex-participants here. So you have to do with the advice of the teachers, which is of course subjective, and we know that. Okay, so now let's see where that video is. 1 second. So, welcome back, everybody. I'm aware that a video video sequence like this is very dense with a lot of short sentences and also fast. So I was wondering whether you wanted to know about specific things. I think I'm a very material person, so I think I would always think the first most important things before it comes to intellectual things is, where do I live and what do I eat? So do you have any questions in this regard? You know, you can also write us chats if you rather want to communicate by that. So yeah, Rebecca, I see you have your hands up.
Yeah, I want to just mention to everyone that the video reflected the program as it existed up until next year. But next year we do plan to have a fall semester program. Are promoting that and hoping students might be interested in a fall semester program. And I believe that that will have prerequisite of just 1 year of German, right? So that's something that is still kind of cooking, but we hope to have some official information on that soon.
Actually, I have a question about that in terms of timelines, just for applications in general and for this, because I see, some names of students who are in first year German right now who might be eligible for a program like that. When would they actually be thinking about that? I mean, what is the
timelines? I think
Yeah.
that will be the same as the regular applications. So sorry, I'm having trouble with my little hand there. Lower the hand. So the deadlines will be the same as in February. So we're pulling that information together, but we should have that very soon for students to consider. And part of the core part of the program is an internship in Hamburg. If students aren't able to find an internship, we're working on a different
And that's just for the fall program. Because
kind
there
of
is a
project
question that in
they
the,
might do, and I
in
think
the
our faculty are familiar with the work projects.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll let Judith answer that one
Yeah.
about the courses at the University of Hamburg.
well,
Okay.
before that though, there's somebody asking about the fall and the spring. Zoe has a
Sorry.
question.
Yes, it'll be both. The fall will be kind of a different program. It won't involve classes at the University of Hamburg. It will be this idea of an internship or a practicum semester. And the spring semester will be one where students are taking both Smith courses and University of Hamburg courses, more along the traditional lines.
Hey, I don't know, one of the students, could please the students mute themselves because we have a lot of background noise. I don't know who's, yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot, Jana. So one student asked, where can we find the full list of courses that will be available at the University in Hamburg? Well, this is a tough one. Hamburg is a state's university and it's very big and it has 40,000 courses and they plan very short term which means you can look at the course list of the current semester, but probably not on the course list of the semester when you will be there. Many courses are, how do you call it? They repeat themselves. So that means there will the same set of courses probably every year, but of course we cannot guarantee it. Once you know in what subject you will study, I mean, what field you will study, we can look into these courses together, either one of us or Jutta Gutzeit, and we can try to identify courses that will be suitable exactly for you. The only thing we can really predict are the courses that we offer at the Smith Center, because they are planned by ourselves. And of course, we know that ahead of time. Lisa just sent us, thank you, Lisa, sent us a link to the course list of the current courses offered at Hamburg University. I hope you saw, did you see that? Okay, so do you have other questions? No? to clarify, the fall application will solely be for an internship. In that case, what would that look like if we still have regular courses to take? Rebecca, why don't you answer?
Yeah, I could answer that. I don't know if some of you are familiar with the Geneva program where we have an internship semester. It'll be similar to that, where the internship amounts to one course. And then we'll still have German language. We'll have a German culture class, kind of an experiential, getting out and exploring the city. And there's another course that is currently being developed. I don't know, Judith, if you know a little bit more about that. This is what UTIC keeps telling.
Well, the internship will count as a course and you will have 3 others, and they will be taught all at the Smith Center because the students will not have status as university students in Hamburg. I can tell you that much.
And that's the big difference between the fall program, the spring program, and the year-long program. The spring program, you take courses at the university, and the year-long program, you take courses at the university. The fall program revolves more around this internship and his courses solely at the Smith Center.
Yeah, and so we have the questions here. How diverse are the Smith courses for the fall semester? Do they support different types of majors?
I can answer that a little bit.
Really? Yes, why don't you answer this?
Well, part of it is because we've adapted this to be open to students with only 1 semester of, 1 year of German. If you have 1 year, you don't have a lot of flexibility. You'll have those 3 courses I mentioned in the internship. But students who've got 2 years of German coming into that group can take the same classes with the year-long students. So there's, I believe, a history class and one other class, part of the year-long program. So there's a little more variety for students who have the 2 to that group.
But there will definitely not be a course in biology or in physics or something like that, because we have to find a course that's suitable for all the participants. We do not have individual courses for the individual divisions, unfortunately. So what else? Here's another question. For students doing the full year, how long is the winter break in between the semesters? I'm guessing students go home over the holidays, but I'm wondering how long students are home for in between semesters. Oh, yeah, this is not what you might expect. The fall semester in Hamburg is much longer than the fall. No, it's not longer, but it starts later than the fall semester at Smith, and it lasts longer. So and actually it's called the winter semester in Germany. It starts middle of October and it lasts, and now hold your breath, it lasts until middle of February, I think, or beginning of February, which means, yes, there will be 1 or 2 weeks of seasonal holidays in between, but this is not the break between the semesters. So the first semester will definitely end only in February. And the second semester will then start again in the middle of April, which means there is a break, but it's not over the holidays. The break is March and part of April. And this is a time where some students choose to go home, but most students stay in Europe and travel, or do an internship, or do other things, or just stay in Hamburg without studying. Oh, actually, I just occurred to me. We heard that students sometimes do go home over the holidays, but that would be just shorter. It's probably than just 10 days or so. So some students do that. Yes. Are there more questions about this? No? Lisa.
Judith,
Oh, yes. Rebecca?
I was going to mention, you mentioned the internships
Mhm.
that students can do during the break, that students can, if they're from Smith, can apply for this special travel grant, the Blumberg grant, and can
Oh, right.
do really interesting research projects during that time. We have a lot of, every year, a couple of students who are able to do that. So that's a fun option for some students to think about.
Lisa, I was wondering, could you say a little bit about the stipend?
Unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm going to put a link to the Blumberg information in the chats real
Mhm.
quick.
Yeah.
So Judith, you said stipends, is that
Yeah,
correct?
this about eating in Hamburg.
Yeah,
So that's
so
different. Mhm.
yeah, sure. So the students, all the students live in student residences where there will be other students from Germany who are pursuing their degrees in Hamburg. There could also be other students from other parts of the world who are also in Hamburg pursuing their degrees. And then there will be some study abroad students, mostly the students on the Smith and Hamburg program, because I feel fairly certain that that's the only program in Hamburg, only study abroad program. So you live in student dorms, student residences. You'll have your own room and your own access to your own bathroom. And then you generally share a kitchen that's towards the end of the hall or somewhere in a hallway. And you share that kitchen with everybody who's living on that same floor. You will have a place to store your food, both dry goods, as well as you'll have space in a refrigerator to store your refrigerated goods. And then you will be given money in the form of a stipend to do your grocery shopping and buy your own food. A lot of students that I've heard of on the Hamburg program tend to pool their money together, either with the people that are on their hall, so that they do some communal dinners and share the expenses of buying food, or with other, and they even do that not even with just the people on the same floor. They'll sometimes there's more interesting people on different floors, and they'll go and share meals with them and stuff. So that's one way it's a good way to meet people. If you remember in the video, there was a comment from a former student that says, go and try to eat with somebody or cook with somebody. And that's a good way to meet people in your dorm room and stuff. And so your tuition, room, and board expenses will be covered by Smith. You should not be using any of your own personal money for those expenses. And then yeah, so you should have plenty. And then when the group is on excursion as well, all expenses will be covered for the excursions that the students go on.
So I see some questions here. So Emma, you wrote, what is that grant called? I think you probably meant the Blumberg font. So and Lisa put the link here on the chat. And if you meant another grant, please ask again so that we can try to answer that. So I see another question. And so the question is, when does University of Hamburg release their course catalog, and are all courses open to Smith students? Well, Lisa already put the link of the current course catalog on this chat here. The course catalog of the year when you will be there is not available yet. So with availability of courses, it is that our program director will arrange with each professors of these courses available, whether the student can attend the class or not. Some courses are restricted to grad students or to a certain group of program students. So for some courses you can register directly, but for others you might need the help of the program director. Yeah, Margaret?
Just wanted to answer a question someone asked about majors. Before, and discuss with your major advisor the type of course that you're going to need, whether it's something specialized or whether it's something that is a little bit easier to take. I'm sorry, my phone is ringing, so I'll get off.
Can I follow up on that?
Yep.
Because I think that's a really good point. It's good to be very clear what you need in advance if you need something very specific or you need something general. But also keep in mind the math is on your side here. There's the University of Hamburg offers approximately 10,000 courses a year. Many of those are not accessible to our students, whether because of prerequisites or that they're for grad students or they're in professional schools, like law schools and whatnot. But there still is an inordinate amount of courses that are accessible to you in the thousands. So depending on how specific the requirement is you're looking to fulfill, that's a conversation really to be had with Jutta, because also keep in mind, when Judith and I have both directed this program before, so you can come to us with questions, but in terms of the most up-to-date information, Jutta Gutzeit, the current director, who has been working with Smith for 20 odd years, she knows how Smith works and she knows how the University of Hamburg works, and she has sustained experience with a lot of the departments that have corollaries at Smith. So she can say, okay, this department regularly offers this class and that class, or Smith students regularly take this class from, these students from engineering get into these classes, or these students from sociology or psychology get into these other classes. She knows that even without necessarily having the black and white catalog published. So if you have very specific questions, we can reach out to her, and you can also reach out to us, and we can try to put something together.
Well, sorry, Margaret. Yes.
Sorry, I promised I wouldn't say anything. I'm still back on the majors. If there seems to be any doubt in terms of a course that you want to take for your major, then Jutta will write to your major advisor with a description in English, she'll translate from German to English, to make sure that when you return, there are not going to be any questions about what you achieved.
Yeah, we normally recommend that students discuss their choice of courses with their advisor at home, so that the advisor would say, well, this is exactly a class that you get credit for, and so that there are no questions afterwards, but rather clarify that before you take the course. Because I would not know what physics course would be suitable at that very moment for you, but your advisor might know that. One question, is there a healthcare plan for the students? Lisa, what would you think?
Yes, so every student who studies abroad, regardless of where they're going, are expected to maintain their US primary health insurance that you are normally required to have as to be a student at Smith. So that needs to be maintained. And then on top of that, as a participant of a Smith program, you will be provided with supplemental health insurance through GeoBlue. And GeoBlue works very similarly to how insurance works here in the US. There are identified healthcare professionals who work with GeoBlue, so you can make an appointment and that doctor will bill GeoBlue, bill the insurance directly. So you will not have to be involved with paying upfront and getting reimbursed and so on and so forth. And I will put a link to more information about GeoBlue in the chat.
Dear students, is there another question? Not at the moment. Well, don't forget you can.
I have a comment, Judith.
Oh, yeah, please.
To follow.
Rebecca, we can't hear you.
also see information that we call the COVID playbook. So, everything from a testing process, information about quarantine, all of the main issues that the campus deals with COVID. We also have a plan in place in Hamburg.
Okay, students, we will have to quit this part of this meeting. This was about the Hamburg program. We will now proceed to the advising about the German major. Students who have questions about the Hamburg program in detail, please come to us, come to Joel Westerdale or come to me, go to the Office of International Studies.